Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and I'm so thankful that you are joining me today as I film my October TBR. So there are a lot of books I need to read before we get to the end of the year. I need to finish out my 52 book reading challenge. I want to take part in Anne-tober, which is hosted by Chautona, who I will link down below. And I would like to take part in Victober, which is hosted by Katie from Books and Things and 3 other lovely ladies who I will link down below. So I'm going to show you, first of all, some of my choices for the Victober prompts and challenges. Each host has a challenge that they have set up. They have a group challenge in honor of 2 wonderful booktubers that we have sadly lost this year. And then they have a group read. So I also have a buddy read and perhaps another buddy read with Chris, a friend of mine, an in real life friend of mine. And then I also have my Agatha Christie read that I read every month with Chantel that she has set up with her Patreons. So I'm going to start with the Victober prompt. So for Kate's challenge, Kate from Kate How, that's her channel name. Her challenge was read a Victorian book where religion is a component of the story. So I have saved in my Audible the Heir of Redcliffe podcast because I'd really like to listen to some of that. I probably won't get it all listened to, but I also went on a buy-in spree and I purchased a whole bunch of books for this that I probably won't get half of them read, but hey, I got them. I purchased Kilvert's Diary because she made it sound so good, and so there is a quote on the back by Alan Bennett. It says, "Kilvert has touched and delighted and mildly shocked readers of his diaries ever since they were first published. New readers are in for a treat." And then it says, "Few have written more beautifully about the countryside, the British countryside, than Francis Kilvert. A country clergyman born in 1840, Kilvert spent much of his time visiting parishioners, walking the lanes and fields of Herefordshire, and writing in his diary, full of passionate delight in the natural world and the glory of the changing seasons. I cannot talk. His diaries are as generous, spontaneous, and vivacious as Kilvert himself. He is an irresistible companion." So I'm so looking forward to this. This is actually set up as his diary, and I am so looking forward to reading. Then we move on to Katie's challenge, which was read a Victorian book that plays with form in some way. And I think I ended up with 2 for that challenge as well. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. I have The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, and I have The Haunted House by Charles Dickens. And I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. This is written by a couple different authors. It's got Wilkie Collins and Charles Dickens and Elizabeth Gaskell and Adelaide Ann Proctor, Heston Stretton. Each one has a chapter with Charles Dickens writing like 3 or 4 chapters. I'm really excited about these 2. So, yes. All right. Marissa's prompt is read a Victorian work originally serialized. Wilkie Collins' The Woman in White, that I was considering reading. or had read, it's an old video, A Tale of Two Cities, and she rated it 5 stars and said, if you haven't read it, you really need to read it. So I'm thinking I might read A Tale of Two Cities, because A Tale of Two Cities, well, all of Dickens's work was serialized. So I'm really considering reading A Tale of Two Cities. So it's either 2 Dickens or 2 Wilkie Collins. I don't know. So I'm going to put them both in my stack, and we shall see what happens. And Roz's challenge was experience a Victorian drama, read, watch, or listen to a Victorian play. I'd like to listen first to The Importance of Being Earnest and then watch it. And, you know, maybe if there's time to watch or listen to another one. Then the group challenge is to read a Victorian book by Wilkie Collins in honor of Jennifer Brooks, and then read or read a Sir Arthur Conan Doyle for Alice, from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. So this is in memory of these 2 dearly loved booktubers, in their memory, because Jennifer Brooks loved Wilkie Collins, and Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf loved Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So I have, for this one, I want to read The Moonstone in memory of Jennifer Brooks. So I know I'm reading this one. This is the one I want to read first. In honor of Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, I want to read one of the novels. This is 4 novels and 44 short stories. I want to read one of the novels from this bind-up. It would probably be The Hounds of Baskerville. I don't know. It may just be the first one. I might just pull up and read whichever one comes up first. There's a big long, it's A Study in Scarlet. I've had this on my shelf first. So, okay, and then the group read is The Doctor's Wife by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. My book does not look like everybody else's. I just ordered it from Amazon, and it has nice big print. There are my Victober options. Anne-tober. Now, Chautona Havoc gave us some nice prompts that we could possibly use interchangeably with the Victober. She said you could, you know, she tried to do ones that you could do interchangeably. So Call Me Anne with an E. I have a book. I have a couple of ebooks. One of them is, I have to go on mine. I'll put it up here. I have a couple of them. I'm going to show you. September by Rosamund Pilcher. And I also have The Body in the Bookstore. This is a secret bookcase mystery, the first one. I also have this is The Body in the Bookstore is by Ellie Alexander. I also have The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. So one of those 3. I'll be reading one of those 3. Okay. Kindred Spirits, a book about special friendship. So I could go back to my special book for Alice and the Giant Bookshelf book, because we have Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson have a special friendship. I could go with my buddy read. Salt to the Sea. This is a buddy read that Chris and I are doing that we're just going to roll over to October. This is by Ruta Sepetys. There are 4 people, main characters, and it's told from all 4 characters' point of view. I've only gotten to page 32 or something like that. And they develop a friendship So I could use that one. Or I could pick up The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. They have a friendship. Or, no, that's not the one I was looking. Arthur and George, and this is about George, who was the son of a Midlands vicar, and Arthur, living in a shabby genteel Edinburgh. They find themselves in a vast, complex world at the heart of the British Empire. And then years later, one of them is in trouble, and he needs the other one who is creating the world's most famous detective. Okay. There are a couple others I could use for that one, but okay. And then that was Kindred Spirits, the book about friendship. And then the next quote says, I suppose it was a romantic way to perish. Romantic sensibilities. Okay, so I don't think it is romance. She's not getting at romance in that one, but this one could be romantic with romantic sensibilities. I'm sure A Tale of Two Cities probably has romantic sensibilities. Gilbert's Diary probably has romantic sensibilities because it's, you know, his experiences in nature. I find romance in every book I read. Okay. Some books are best left on the shelf. A book that's been on your TBR alone. I'm going back to this one. The Greatest Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's been on my TBR a long time. But I'm also probably going to also put this one up. I don't have it out here with me. I just put it back on the shelf in the other room. It's A Book Thief, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And it's been on my TBR a long time. And the next quote, I'm so glad we live in a world with Anne-tobers. This is a free space. You can use any book you want. Next quote, it is ever so much easier to be good if your clothes are fashionable. So this is a good cover. The Cruelest Month by Louise Penny. I could use that one. I like the Turn of the Screws cover, The Sea. I like that cover, and I love this cover. All right, next prompt, No Mistakes. A book that takes place in a school. Anne of Green Gables. Next prompt, When Your Imaginations Come True, a Dream Come True novel. The only one I have for that is because I don't know if any other ones come true or not. Life is worth living as long as there is a laugh in it. Okay, I laugh with Anne of Green Gables. I laugh with the older people in here. But I also need one related to the word wild. I have a couple books for that. And a musical instrument on the cover. So those will be going on my TBR the next month. And I have one that I need for a palindrome on the cover. So I need, and a wedding. I need a book with a wedding. And a ghostwriter book. So I still have quite a few that I'm missing. But I need to look and see if any of the books that I've read, because I haven't looked at this for a while. So I know I've read some that I haven't read the blurb. So anyway, there are a couple more. This was recommended to me by a friend of mine that I work with. Her husband recommended it to her, and she recommended me a book, and then she's, also recommended this one from him to me. It's Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. I also have sitting here The Forgotten Letters of Esther Durant. I would love to read this and see what it's about. This may be my L letter. I have The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater by Jamie Jo Wright. This is one of her newer ones. I'm putting this one on my TBR because this can count as my L, because you don't count the. You start with L. So that is my TBR. I know it's very chaotic. I apologize, but I've tried to film this 5 times and I wasn't happy with any of it. I'll try to cut out some of the blank spaces. And if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're participating in any of these readathons. And if you want to see more from me, come on back and I will see you in the next video.